What's up, everybody? Welcome to In Love with Horror. I'm AJ.
And I'm Christy.
And y'all, of course, 2025 has concluded. It's 2026. We hope that y'all had a fantastic holiday and happy new year. As with any end of the year, of course, we got to do the top 10 list. So this video and this podcast is the top 10 horror movies of 2025. 2025 was, I think, a dope year. We had, I think, a great range of horror movies. What you think, man?
I actually don't agree with that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I found it very, very difficult to create a top 10 list for 2025 compared to previous years.
Interesting. Because even I was looking at our top 10 list and I liked all the movies. Like, I guess that's what I mean by like the fact that we got, 10 movies that I could look at that list and I'd be like, man, I enjoyed every single one of those movies. And I would recommend anybody to go check the movies out. And there's even some things, that aren't on the list that, at least for me personally, I know there was a decent amount of films that you and I feel differently about over the course of the year. That for me personally, I'd be like, make great honorable mentions. So it felt like a good year to me.
Well, me and you're different.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the list, y'all. But before we get into the list, we do want to mention an honorable mention, just one. And it's going to be for Strange Harvest. We decided to mention this one because it was a very unique film, being that it was in that, mockumentary style for horror films, but they did it so well. I think that's the key point with Strange Harvest is just how well they had the documentary style just like pinpointed. How did you feel about Strange Harvest, man?
Yeah, I really liked a lot of elements about this movie. This was directed by Stuart Ortiz, who did Grave Encounters. So I think I like Grave Encounters as well. So obviously this one's a different style than Grave Encounters, but it's still like that found footage flavor, which I think he's obviously pretty good at. But yeah, I like the story. I did not. The only thing about this one that hinders it for me was the ending. But everything else I thought was really well done. It was a very intriguing story. I think they had that whole, like you said, mockumentary style down pat. Like it felt like a documentary. I think they might have used some like, for like some of the images, some questionable AI possibly. I don't know. But other than that,
that's going to be a crazy point for people for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I thought it was a well done movie.
Yeah, absolutely agree. But yeah, Strange Harvest, honorable mention. If you haven't seen Strange Harvest, go check that film out. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into the actual countdown, the top 10 horror movies of 2025. Well, the top 10, we believe of 2025. We're kicking it off with a shark film, y'all, and that is Dangerous Animals. So Dangerous Animals, directed by Sean Byrne, is our number 10 film of 2025. This film, I thought, like crazy surprised me, especially how Christy and I watched it, because we watched it as part of one of those Monday mystery movies. We went to Regal and saw the Monday mystery movie, and I didn't really know like a whole lot about the movie other than like, it was like a shark movie. But man, we treated to like just a fun shark thriller type of film that's done so uniquely. The concept of this dude capturing people he's basically like a serial killer who has this kind of fetish with seeing sharks fuck people up, and I thought it was a great time. But how'd you feel about Dangerous Animals?
Well, let's be specific. It was really about effing women up. It wasn't really people. That guy was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. All those names he had were women.
Right, yeah, that was his victim of choice was women. True, yes.
But no, it was really good. I've explained to you the only aspect that I didn't like about the movie is once you get to that third act, there's a lot of like back and forth moments. I can't really get into details if you haven't seen it. That to me were just unnecessary. But I did like the characters. I like the build-up, the suspense in the movie. Obviously, like the way that they filmed the sharks, I really enjoyed that as well. But the villain character, what was his name?
Tucker, right?
Is it Tucker?
I
Oh
thought
yeah,
that was his
Tucker.
name.
Right. That sounds right. Yeah, he was really animated and
He
felt
was
like a
hilarious.
villainous character. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that one. Definitely was a good one.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit on the as you get to that third act. Just there's a lot going on, but I was never bored. I'll tell you that. I was always locked in and engaged, and it's definitely a ride of a
Yeah.
movie. But Dangerous Animals for sure, definitely was a decent movie and our number 10 film of the year, y'all. So let's go ahead and get a number 9, babe.
Number 9 is The Rule of Jenny Penn.
That's a controversial one, right?
Is it?
Well, I only say that because I remember when we used to talk about this movie, we used to be like, "Oh yeah, people don't really like that movie" or something like that.
Oh, like when it first came out. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't think this is going to be on a lot of top 10 lists, I'm sure. But it was directed and written by James Ashcroft. I feel like this was from New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember quite well, but it had Jeffrey Rush and John Lithgow in this movie, and they
Yep.
play these two old men in a home, and one of them is mean as hell, like super ruthless and basically trying to run the old man's home, the old people's home. But this one it was good. It's also kind of like brutal at moments and
Hard to
just like
watch.
cringy. Yeah, like all that stuff. But I thought that these two characters that that Lithgow and Rush play are what makes the movie what it is. There's a lot of like, oh my God moments, but they handle them like almost like this would really happen in real life. Now, as somebody who's worked in an old people's home before, these old people can't be mean. So this was definitely very accurate in that case, but obviously to the extreme. It was to the extreme for sure, but it was still good. It was a good time for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a great time in terms of the journey you go through with these characters. And like you said, Lithgow's character is,
Yeah.
just the menace of this.
That's a good word, menace.
Yeah, he's the menace of this old people's home. And unfortunately, some people just there's some dirty stuff that happens to some of these people, and it is hard to watch. And I'm sure
it's very hard to watch.
That's part of the the point of the movie. I just thought it was a very interesting way to talk about the messaging of the film, and then we don't really see, I think, movies of this nature where it revolves around the elderly and commentary on the elderly being victimized or being forgotten about. It was just some very great themes in there, a very interesting story, but it is hard to watch. But like, man, the performances and just all the crazy shit that goes on makes it worth a watch. And thus our number 9 film of 2025. Anything else on that one, babe?
Oh, well, that's it.
All right, so let's get into our number 8 film, and that is Companion. So Companion was directed by Drew Hancock. It features I was his name. Oh, Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher as our two main leads. And this film revolves around a group of friends going to like a little remote cabin getaway. And I mean, the trailer kind of gives away the certain aspects of the film. Is it well known enough for me to mention like that dynamic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because it's not in the synopsis. So I'm always curious about how to present the movie. But Jack Quaid's character has a like android AI girlfriend, and he brings her to the party, and things go real left and things get crazy. And I'm gonna leave it at that because I don't want to spoil too much. But it turns into a slasher type film, and it's just a great time. I thought this was a early in the year movie. Like, it came out like January, February or something like that. So it was very early on in 2025. But it was one of those films that I never really forgot about. And I really liked the themes of the movie, and I liked the just the the dynamics of what plays out, I really liked. I thought I had a great ending as well. But Companion was interesting in terms, especially when we got a lot of like AI type of films in the past, like 2 years. I thought this was an interesting one that also seemed very realistic in terms when it comes to like, you know, these partner android robots. I felt like it was very real in those terms. But what do you think about Companion, babe?
I actually it took me a while to come around on this one. Actually, had to rewatch this before making this list because on first watch I didn't really love it. I still
I
don't really
remember.
love
Yeah.
it, honestly. But unlike you, I feel like this year was just not that great anyway. So this is just a little
Yeah.
bit higher
Mhm.
because I like it a little bit more than other things we have seen this year. Um, but yeah, I did like you were saying, some of the themes. There are some themes that they kind of like sprinkle in near the end that I wish they kind of like played up a little bit more. But I
Mhm.
understand that this was much more contained story. Um, so I get that they couldn't really like dive too deep into some of those things that they mentioned. Um, but overall, I thought it was a journey and seeing how the twists kind of like unravel
Mhm.
and continue to kind of twist. And then I too did enjoy the ending of this one as well.
Yeah. Yeah. The little mini twist moments that do happen, I think, are really done very well.
Mhm.
At least for me. Because sometimes I'll be in detective mode, but sometimes I'm not. And I feel like in this one, I was not in detective mode. So when certain twists happen, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, wasn't expecting that. But yeah, Companion was a little dope film and our number 8th film of 2025. Uh, I'll hand over to you, babe, for our number 7.
Number 7 is Final Destination Bloodlines. Now, this was coming to us from previous Final Destination directors, I'm not gonna say this right, Lepovsky and Adam B. Stein. It featured, our kind of like, I would say, final goodbye to the late great legend Tony Todd. But in
Absolute legend.
this Yes, in this film, we explored another storyline of what we know from Final Destination, right? Like you have a group of people who are trying to outrun death, but in this particular case, it was a family and not strangers. So this was like a different aspect in that regard.
Mhm.
I did like some of the way some things happened in this movie. Overall, like the storytelling, I didn't really love the character, like one particular character, like the main lead character.
Yeah.
Uh, but the other side characters I thought to me were even better. Um, and just how what things played out at the end. Because you can never win. You can't beat death. And
You can't beat death,
I
man.
can
You can't.
appreciate that. That's the real truth right there. But what did you think about it?
Yeah, but Bloodlines was great. And that this one came out like right before the summer kicked off, the summer
Mhm.
move, movie craze kicked off. And Bloodlines was another like surprise in the sense that the last few that Final Destination films that we got weren't great. And
True.
yeah, at least about the last two. And so we went into this with a little bit of trepidation, right? It's like, all right, like, how are they going to attack this movie franchise? And they handled it with the perfect care. They understood what made Final Destination work. The cast of characters were good, had a great storyline. Man, the deaths were creative as hell,
Yeah.
just as they always are. Because even in the movies that are bad, the deaths are still pretty creative. But this film continued that trend. As always, Final Destination opens with the big death scene, right? The premonition. And this shit
One
was
of my favorites.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my
That
favorites for
Yeah,
sure.
that's the whole Space Needle shit. Everything that goes down was super crazy. Of course, like you mentioned, R.I.P. to the legend Tony Todd. We even get a little bit of his backstory, his Bloodworth's backstory,
Mhm.
in the film, and then probably one of the most incredible monologue deliveries in films in recent memory, where he's speaking directly to the audience, and it is just like this, like both for his character and kind of, combining a real life message. It was super powerful, and definitely unforgettable. But yeah, Bloodlines was super dope. Excited now for the next film. They are making another one, so now I'm like, all right, I'm back on board with Final Destination. So hopefully, they continue to treat the franchise proper, and continue to find ways to make the story interesting, on top of keeping the kills creative. But Final Destination Bloodlines, our number 7 film. All right, a number 6 film. We're getting close to the halfway mark, y'all. Our number 6 film for 2025 is Predator: Badlands. Of course, and I feel like this one's kind of mixed as well. I know some of the hardcore fans don't really mess with this movie like that, but I don't give a fuck, because this movie was fire. Yeah, Christy and I both thought this movie was fire. Of course, Dan Trachtenberg is coming back to do Predator: Badlands. Of course, he did Prey. He had also did the animated film as well. I believe the what was it called? Killers of Killers, I believe.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Kill of Killers was that animated film, both on Hulu.
Which I like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that one was super dope too, especially because they had that samurai part, which was like super tough. But Predator: Badlands is a unique entry in the Predator franchise, because we actually, follow a Yaksha as the main protagonist of the movie. And you got to shout out Demetrius Schuster Kolomantangi, probably pronouncing that wrong, my bad, but you got to shout him out because he played Deck, and when working through that makeup, like, he was a force. He was so dope. And I don't really know if he gets his flowers proper for portraying Deck, but he killed it as the Predator, and definitely made this film super dope to watch. It was formulaic in the action warrior's journey, but it was executed flawlessly. This movie was a ride, strong ass open, and that opening was pure fire. With the family conflict that was going on opening the film. And his father was tough. His father was tough. Like, I can't wait to see people cosplaying as Deck's father out there in the con world. But yeah, Dan Trachtenberg killed it with this one. Excited for whatever comes next with Predator. What do you think about Predator: Badlands?
I agree with everything you said. I also really thought the characters were well designed, and they did look really fire. I can appreciate the detail that they put into these creatures. I also really love Deck's performance. I liked his kind of like naivety, however you say that. And how his character kind of like grew over time. I love his character arc. I agree. It was very formulaic. I think that was one of the things that people did not like about it. But like you said, I think they executed it well, even though it was pretty like familiar ground that they covered. But yeah, I mean, overall it was a good time. That was what it was supposed to be. It was like, a good time type of movie. It wasn't too deep. And well, to some, they thought it was woke, but I don't think it was that at all.
Well, you know how it is. Nowadays, people think everything's woke and shit is annoying.
Right.
But
yeah, I know. I don't
know how
they gave Predator a heart. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like this character a lot. So I had a good time with it.
Agreed. I'm on board for Predator: Badlands, and I'm excited for whatever Dan Trachtenberg does next. Like, he's got our approval to keep running with the Predator stuff. And if you've seen the ending of this film, I feel like it sets up perfectly for a direct sequel, especially and also giving some thought to stuff that I hadn't thought about before, in terms of like who really runs the Yaksha out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the mother coming around. That's the big dog. That's exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, number 6, y'all, Predator: Badlands. What's on number 5, babe? Halfway through the list.
Halfway through the list, number 5 is The Long Walk. This was directed by Francis Lawrence, who's done like all the Hunger Game movies.
Which I didn't realize. Yeah.
all that, yeah. And it was written by J.T. Molnar, who's becoming a fan favorite within the horror community as a writer.
Makes sense why it's
But
so
yeah,
good now. Mm.
right, exactly.
Mm.
But this was a really, really great movie. Obviously, it's number 5 on our list. I was actually not expecting it to be because I honestly, how good can a movie about people walking down the
Just
street be?
walking. That's all they're doing. That's all they're
But
doing.
this it's about this group of boys, basically, chosen by their countrymen in the States to walk until there's only one person left. And the meaning behind this was to restore hope in some way to this desolate, like after like a dystopian style type of era. But as you're going on the walk, you learn just how people really feel about this, you know.
Yeah.
And so it has a lot of themes around like government and resistance and um just all that stuff. And I thought it was very relevant to the times, honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, really great performances from uh what's his name? David
David Johnson.
Johnson. Thank you.
Mhm.
I thought he was amazing.
He was.
As always, I feel like he's always just really, really good. But I really loved his character in this one as well. Cooper Hoffman, who was also
Mhm.
the other lead, the two of them did really good character work together. But I mean, honestly, the whole cast of kids
Yeah.
were exceptional. Uh, I I'm just gonna name these people because I thought they were all really good.
Okay.
Joshua Ajik, Jordan Gonzalez, Ben Wong, Charlie Plummer, and Tut Nyalt and Garrett Waring, because they were all really, really good. The deaths were brutal. I didn't expect that either. Just that rawness and realness of being what it would be like having to walk on the road and you can't like go anywhere else to go to the bathroom or whatever. Like that was some crazy stuff to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a really well done movie. Emotional, obviously I was up there crying, of course. The ending it was stressful. It was an ending. It was a stressful ending, but I don't know how other people feel about it, but I feel like what else could have happened? I haven't read the story, so the actual Stephen King story, so I don't know how it actually plays out or whatever, but um it was the ending, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely it was definitely an ending. I agree with what you said, 100%. But but I agree with all parts of what you said because I thought the writing was really well done because this is a movie that's
Mhm.
like you mentioned is carried by the performances from these actors and they all just carried the whole film on their back, walking it all the way down the road and um, it's I feel like it's always difficult to make just pure dialogue interesting, and they found ways to do
Mhm.
it. It still integrated some very like thriller horror moments and like the death parts because that shit was brutal.
It
Like
was.
I knew it was gonna be like these people getting taken out, but man, like it was brutal when people got taken out. Um,
Yeah.
and you spend literally 100% of the time just walking with these people, you get attached to them. So like when deaths do begin, especially as they happen later on in the film, man, you really feel it because
Mhm.
you spend so much time with these people and they're not going to make it, but you just have so much hope because ultimately, like you said, no one really wants to be there, right?
Yeah.
But this is a surprising film. It makes me curious about Stephen King's books. I'm like, okay, I wonder how the novel plays. Like, how does a novel feel to read with these people walking? But definitely, this is definitely a must watch for 2025 horror films, and that is our number 5 film. So we're getting into the top 4. So our number 4 film of 2025, y'all, is The Ugly Stepsister. So The Ugly Stepsister is a Norwegian body horror film. It was written and directed by Amelia Blichfeld. I'm probably tearing that up. Apologize, but if it's basically like a body horror take on the Cinderella story, because you follow. And I feel like I get there. I feel like I get them mixed up because I can't really tell who's who on the little IMDb. But what was the main girl's name again?
The main girl. Now you got me thinking about it.
Right. Well, either way,
the main one is Agnes, right? No, that's the sister. It's Elvira.
Okay,
Elvira is the main. Yes,
is the one that
the ugly stepsister,
right? Yeah, yeah, because she goes through a transformation and then ends up putting the other stepsister down, and obviously it's a lot of themes and messaging revolving around women and body ownership, but beauty standards and all these different things. It's very much like kind of some of the elements of what The Substance was saying, but I think personally, this movie did it even better. Because I just think it's a better film. But this movie was a very beautiful film. It was shot extremely well. It looked gorgeous. Whether it be the shot composition or the actual look of the film and this kind of like dreamy, airy like look to it. And then, of course, the body horror elements are coming in like full fucking tilt with this movie because there is some real stuff in here that's gonna make you, like cringe up a little bit. Definitely made me cringe up a little bit with some of the stuff that's going on in this movie across.
Don't eat noodles while watching this movie.
Yeah, don't do that. Definitely don't do that. But this movie I thought it was a beautiful film and very horrifically beautiful. But what'd you think about The Ugly Stepsister, Ben?
Oh yeah, this was definitely a favorite of mine this year. I also loved how well it was shot and how it looked and having that almost whimsical element, but it being such a brutal and nasty, disgusting movie on the other side is like, I thought it was very well balanced in that regard. The writing was really good. The storytelling was well thought out and very thought provoking. The characters were developed really well. I love the arcs for all three of the characters, like the mom and Agnes and Elvira. Like I really thought that those character arcs were really well done. Yeah. And just, further diving into the realities of womanhood and expectations. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was really well. It was a really well done movie.
Yeah, 100% agree with. But yeah, definitely check out The Ugly Stepsister, y'all, if you haven't seen it. It is like we mentioned, a very beautiful but nasty film. All right, y'all, we are in the top 3. So these are the best 3 horror films of 2025, in our opinion. So, babe, go ahead and kick us off. What is our number 3 film for 2025?
Number 3 is Frankenstein from Guillermo del Toro, GDT, written and directed. Oh, yeah. It stars Oscar Isaac and Jacob Elordi, and we all know the story of Frankenstein. So I don't really have to explain that one very much, but I do think that this was one of the best versions of Frankenstein I've watched. Oh, yeah. I still haven't seen one movie I told you guys about previously when we talked about reviewing this movie, which was Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I haven't seen that one, but of the ones I have seen, the stories I've seen, the movies I've watched, this was my favorite. I think we gave this movie 5 stars because it was just that good. Yeah, no notes. Well, my notes have to do with one particular character, but that's just how it is. But it had great costume design, beautiful production design, great writing, great storytelling, great characters, great performances. Like it was checking all the boxes for me. I like the way that the story is broken down. I just I personally thought Jacob Elordi's performance as the creature was top tier of the year.
Yeah.
He portrayed it very beautifully and artfully. I've always kind of liked his work, but this was my favorite performance of his to date. But yeah, this was a great movie. What
Yeah,
do
I
you
agree
think,
with
babe?
that. Yeah, I agree with everything that you said, babe. This movie was amazing. To me, it's masterpiece level quality. Uh, like I was just impressed with everything. Like you mentioned, the costume design. Obviously, it's Guillermo del Toro, so everything about
Mhm.
the aesthetic of the film, and obviously, this dude's masterclass when it comes to directing. So, just the overall visual feel of the movie, from the compositions to the movements, and he always, is able to pull out some incredible performances from the performers because everybody was delivering in this movie, and especially Jacob Elordi and Oscar Isaac, playing the creature, and Victor Frankenstein. Uh, man, there's a lot to say about the movie because obviously it's a lot that happens, but I feel like this probably has the most fire opening of any Frankenstein movie ever made. Because I did not expect Frankenstein to be going that hard. I didn't expect such a cool like Frankenstein in terms of like just like damn, this dude hard, like the type of way the stuff that he's doing in the beginning of the movie, and later on as well. But it is beautifully told, and man, there's so many different emotions that happen throughout the entire film. You go through a roller coaster of emotions, and Jacob Elordi's performance is really good because man, you see him evolve over time from this innocent creature into this kind, gentle creature, and then becoming like you want me to be the monster, I'm gonna be the monster. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
man, he plays that whole arc incredibly well. But man, yeah, this movie was something special. Even after we watched it, and we actually reacted to it. So if you go on the YouTube channel, we did a reaction to Frankenstein, so you can see exactly how we felt when this movie concluded. And we was both kind of speechless, like, damn, like that's a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, but GDT, man, like that dude, he's always killing it. And I think Frankenstein. I think he mentioned like Frankenstein was one that he always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm glad he kind of saved it until now because he has all those incredible films under his belt, and he's like, all right, like now I'm ready, and I'm about to tackle Frankenstein. And damn, that dude did his thing because this movie's uh, is gorgeous in all the right ways. Also, the music is fire. Like
Yeah. The score
I
was
think
really
we
good.
both was playing the music on Spotify
Hmm.
because there was the main theme that plays, and then there's a moment that happens in the film where Victor Frankenstein's leaving the lecture hall. It has that like Van Helsing sound to it,
Yeah.
super fire. But it just incredible film, man. If you haven't watched Frankenstein from GDT, definitely check out the film. We believe it is the number 3 best horror film of 2025. All right, so getting into our top 2, uh, you know, in a year that I think you said wasn't the best, but these top 3 are incredible. And number 2 is no different. Number 2 is another masterpiece of a film to me. This is a super special one because um, it's coming from former YouTubers. We had
Mhm.
2 movies this year from former, or well, I guess one's still current, but YouTubers. But this is the one from the Philippines, the one that's in like just a fucking masterpiece in my opinion. And of course, we're talking about Bring Her Back. So Danny and Michael Philippou, of course, did talk to me back in 2023, and
Mhm.
that was their debut feature film. Obviously, came out swinging. It shocked everybody with how decent the film was. I wasn't as big on it as everybody else was, but it was still a decent movie. But Bring Her Back, I think, is even better than Talk to Me personally. Man, from uh, the themes in the movie and that involves motherhood and family, examining grief, letting go. Like there's so many different elements in this movie from just like a writing perspective, and it's written so well. Of course, it's being led by Sally Hawkins, and she delivers I think a incredible performance here. But the movie is weird and it's creepy. Got like a haunting element to it, but it's also got this emotional dramaticness to it as well. And it's just a fantastic movie. It's a fantastic story. You'll leave that theater just feeling like, just kind of like with Frankenstein. You'll leave kind of feeling speechless, like, damn, like the fuck did I just watch? You know what I'm saying? That's the feeling that you'll have leaving the theater. I think this being the Philippines' second movie, I think pretty much like submits the fact that these dudes is masters, it seems, when it comes to horror movie storytelling. We'll see what they do with their third film. I'm assuming that the third film was going to be Talk to Me Too. I don't know that for sure. But if their third film slaps, then it's just a confirmation. Like, all right, like these dudes got it down pat. But babe, how'd you feel about Bring Her Back?
Yes, I think this movie was. This movie felt the most like a horror movie to me. This, especially if you look at our top 10, it's definitely the most. When we think about horror, obviously there's many ways you can look at horror, but this movie was scary to me. Like it had some scary moments. It felt creepy. It was eerie. Like the music, the characters, the story. Like it was heavy as hell. I do think some people don't like the fact that it is so heavy, and
it is heavy.
It is a heavy movie. There's some shocking moments. Oh man, like there was one particular moment I was just like, no, I can't believe this is happening.
They did it, and they was doing. They did it. It was like we have to do it. We got to.
Yeah, we got to do it. But it's like I think that's the authenticity of what they're creating, right? Like anything can happen, and I just love that about their work. But yeah, it was super well done. I like the little kid who plays like the demon kid.
Yeah, that's Jonah Rin Phillips was the one that played Oliver.
Oliver's character, that was awesome. Well done. There were quite a few movies that we watched this year. Like you said, from YouTubers. 3 of them specifically were in theaters. And this was definitely the best one of those 3.
Yep. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that's true. There was that third movie that we watched. I forgot about that one. Yeah.
What was the name? House of Eden, or something like that?
Yeah.
We all know what the other one was.
Oh, Shelby Oaks.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this was great. It was that's why it's number 2. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it a lot.
Man, this movie is dope, y'all. Definitely check out Bring Her Back if you haven't seen it. It is like Chrissy said, it is a horror movie through and through. It is is a great example of what horror can be. And the Philippines are very exciting. And I'm very excited to see what they do next. All right, so that is our number 2, Bring Her Back. So, baby, what is the best horror movie of 2025? The number 1. What could it be?
Well,
feel the people.
The number 1 movie for us is Sinners, from the amazing, talented Ryan Coogler, written and directed by Ryan Coogler. Stellar cast. I mean, just stellar. Michael B. Jordan, Wumi Musaku, Haley Stanfield, Miles Canton, Delroy Lindo. I mean, like the most amazing cast ever. Incredible cast. Amazing music from Ludwig Göransson. Costume design by Ruth Carter. I mean, like you literally got the greatest of a great of talent in Hollywood, Black Hollywood, and beyond, on working on this film. It is I don't care what nobody say. This was the best movie of the year.
Hands down.
The story was powerful, impactful. Just everything, like the production design, obviously sound design, the score, the music, the songs, the performances,
writing.
everything was just so well thought out, carefully curated. Just from front to back, this movie was amazing. We watched this movie like 5 times, 3 of those in the theater. I'm sure. I can't remember. I know I've seen it at least 3 times because I watched it one time with my mom. I watched it with the kid.
I saw it.
Yeah, we watched it
4. I think I saw it 4 times.
I think you saw it more. Yeah,
and
you saw it more than me.
To this day, I think I've seen it 6 or 7 times.
Yeah, there you go. So this was an amazing film. I think rewatchability is a great indicator of a good movie. Something that you can constantly go back to. A lot of movies we watched this year, I ain't never gonna see the movies again. You know what I'm saying? Nope. But this Sinners is something that will become a staple, you know what I'm saying, in our house. And that's why it is number 1 movie of the year for us. But I know you got plenty to say, so go ahead, baby.
Oh, man. Yeah, Sinners, y'all. Sinners is not only the best horror film of 2025, it is like the best film, period, of 2025. I think what Ryan Coogler did with Sinners was magical. It was truly something special, from the technology used, shooting on film, shooting some of those scenes on IMAX cameras. He ain't go full Christopher Nolan shooting the whole movie on IMAX, but he did shoot some very powerful scenes in IMAX.
Shout out to Autumn Akapal, who was the cinematographer as well.
And she killed it as a cinematographer for Sinners. But I think one key thing you said was rewatchability, right? Let me tell y'all something, and Christy knows this. I am not a rewatcher. I don't rewatch shit. Like whatever, it's got to be like incredible, like truly magnificent for me to want to go back and rewatch multiple times. So the fact that I've seen this movie in just 1 year, probably like 6 or 7 times, I think really speaks volumes to just how special Sinners is. Because it's just hitting on every front. Like it's got, all the emotion, but it's got the laughs, it's got the fun, it's got the horror, like it's got everything, you know what I'm saying? And just to see like the Black excellence on screen obviously is very impactful. Now, I mean, it's obvious that it's gonna be a little bit more special to us given that we're Black. So it's even gonna feel even more impactful. And I think sometimes people don't really understand that aspect. But to be a Black, a Black film fan and be witnessing, that level of masterclass when it comes to everything about the film, it truly is like it's a truly crazy experience. You know what I'm saying? And this movie is it's just pure fire. Everything about it. It's got the quotables too.
Great quotables.
The quotables is amazing with Sinners, and obviously the music is super fire. When the Spotify joint came out with the Spotify rap, I know for you, babe, like the Sinners,
mine was the
number 1 album. And because the music was pure fire. Obviously Ludwig Göransson doing the music for Sinners, and the music was such a central part of this film. And the music is, because sometimes you hear good music in a movie, but you try to listen to it outside of the film, it don't really work. But Sinners is one of those films where, like, man, you could listen to the whole soundtrack, and it's just fire, even on its own. And then you add in the context of the film, and it just adds this really special layer. But man, this Sinners is just absolute masterpiece of a film. And I think it's crazy to think that, this was Ryan Coogler's first like truly original work. And I'm like, damn, man, like, shoot, we would have known that you could have been writing this. You should have been doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? I know you've been doing the Marvel stuff and Creed and all that stuff, but man, it's just incredible. Such an original idea. The screenplay is out now. I've only read the first couple pages because I had known about what the original intro for the film was going to be, the original opener. So I got a chance to read the first couple pages. I do want to read the rest of the script just to see kind of like what was going on in this dude's head and just to see how things are played out and written. But yeah, Ryan Coogler, man, easily proven that he is, one of the best directors in the game, hands down. When you look at his filmography and success that he's had, I just, obviously, I hope that Sinners allows him to continue to do original work. And I know he's working on Black Panther 3, which I'm sure will be fire. But I'm curious to see what other original ideas he's got up in his head. Because Sinners that's going to be fucking classic. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
then what, like 50 years now, we're looking back and be like, yeah, Sinners was that one. Like that shit was a moment. Like it took over, and it's gonna be timeless. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna always deliver. And man, the messaging and the themes, and just the feeling of everything, it's incredible, man. That shit is amazing. So Sinners is our number one horror film of the year of 2025. I think it's the best film, period, across the board of 2025. But if you somehow have not seen Sinners, which I feel like everyone has seen it, but just in case you haven't, that is a must-watch film. Whether you like horror or not, I think it is a must-watch, and it is the best of the best. But that's it, y'all. That is our top 10 horror films of 2025. I guess whether it was good or bad, it was an interesting year. I think we got some interesting stories. Whether they worked out well or not, wasn't always the case. I mean, it's proven by your background, babe. You got him in the background. Visually beautiful movie, but it didn't work.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. It didn't work for you.
It didn't work for a lot of people. Let's be real. We gotta keep it a band. That movie didn't deliver what people wanted. And then I try to throw people off of my background. I didn't want to put a horror film on there, so there was no guessing of what could be on the list. So I put one of my favorite films, just in general from 2025, which is Black Bag. If you haven't seen Black Bag, fucking fire ass movie. Like Black Bag is like, shit. I mean, it ain't my number 2 of the year, but it might as well be. That shit is pure fire if you haven't seen Black Bag. But yeah, man, 2025 was fun. Looking forward to 2026. So we are going to do a most anticipated horror films for the year of 2026. So definitely subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to the podcast channels, because that video, if it's not out yet by the time you see this, it will be. And I think 2026 is going to prove to be another interesting year for horror films. It definitely is going to, I mean, sometimes, you don't really know exactly what all is going to come out on the slate, but I think for what we do know that's coming, I think there's going to be an interesting 2026 for sure. So make sure you're locked in to hear what we got to say about the most anticipated films. But before I completely sign out, Bay, anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's it.
All right, y'all, that's it. Well, we will see y'all on the most anticipated films of 2026. A shout out to everybody who, was rocking with us the whole of 2025. Like, especially all of our Patreon and YouTube member supporters. Thank y'all for supporting us, and just people that always tuned in, commented, checked out the lives, and just was part of our community, and just gave us all the support in every way possible. Thank y'all. We're grateful for all the people that have been tuned in. I know we've been gone for a little bit over the holiday time, but we try to be back and be putting out a lot of good content for y'all and reviews. But just shout out to everybody who's rocking with us for 2025. We appreciate y'all, love y'all, and it's gonna be a dope 2026. But that's it for this one. We see you next week. We out, y'all. Peace.